Hi everybody, I'm Rob Ryan, aka.com. And I say it a lot, but I actually am honoured to be here with Max Cavalera from Soulfly. How's it going, man?
Yeah, man.
I say Soulfly, Cavalera, Conspiracy, Kill the Kill, Nail Bomb, and everything else.
Bunch of stuff.
It's never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. Always matter with all.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you got the new album Ritual, which is in October, it's being released. And like I said, we were at Bloodstock and they got massive posters for it there. And the artwork is stunning. It's really cool artwork. Can you tell us a little bit more about the artwork?
Yeah, it's, second time working with Eliran Cantor, man. He did Archangel,
Yeah, it looks similar but not.
Yeah, well, it's cool because the artwork was actually totally different from how it started. It started like a Mexican mask, and then it turned into some dopes fighting vulture, and then we scratched both of those ideas and went to the third idea. Then that's when I had the idea of the guy with the arrow shooting at the sky with some kind of like Babylonian ruins in the background, and there's some monsters coming from the ground. But he's an amazing artist. Eliran is great. I love his work. And then the inside stuff is all my friend from Brazil, Marcelo Vasco. He did the last Slayer album.
Oh yeah.
Ventress, and it's all really cool symbols, like really kind of like voodoo looking symbols. All really ritual kind of stuff, The record's called Ritual.
Yeah.
And we are playing one song tonight, Summoning. We're playing on the whole European tour.
Yeah.
And I guess there's one song already out too. Evil is Power.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because it seems to be much like the artwork for Ritual. It's a good combination of everything that is Soulfly. Where you hear Evil Empowered and you know it's Soulfly. And it is great that Soulfly has that identity now where you can hear it. That's how I want Soulfly to be. That's how they are. So it's great.
Right, yeah.
And so I was reading the lyrics as well because they've got that included in the YouTube description. And I was wondering if it's about any one in particular or any...
No, it's about leaders in general that become, once they get the power, control power, they use it for evil.
Yeah.
Means of evil, like, so it could be about Hitler, Stalin, Bush, or Trump, or Putin, or Brazilian presidents. Every corrupt person, every corrupt politician. I hate politicians because of that, so I want to write a song about just how evil they are, So in the song we mention stuff like the second coming of the Antichrist on earth, that's kind of like how people kind of saw Hitler being as the Antichrist, Some people have compared him to Trump even, so there's a parallel. But I think it's cool because the chorus is very positive. It says rise above. Like, no matter what they do, no matter what these politicians do, we always rise above, like with our strength, as people, as, metalheads especially, we rise above all that bullshit.
Yeah, I think not just metalheads,
so it's like positive, it's a positive, it's tackling something negative, but with a positive twist.
Yeah, it's a solution to the problem, if you like.
Right, yeah.
And in that way, I think it's as much punk rock as it is heavy metal. It has that unified kind of Black Flag, if you like.
Yeah, well, I always love that stuff, man. I always love lyrics like that, like in your face, direct.
Yeah.
Kind of lyrics, and the new Soulfly record is a little bit is a mix of kind of like stuff like that. We have some songs about certain issues, like there's a song called Blood on the Street. It's about Navajo murder. There's a girl got murdered by the police. Nothing happened to the cops. So it's like very
pipeline protest.
No, it's a little bit different. It's actually happened in Arizona. She just got shot in the middle of the street, by a cop, and nothing happened. This cop didn't go to jail, nothing. It's an incredible story. And mostly of the murders in Navajo or in any tribal territory in the US, it's almost always the same. It doesn't even get cataloged. They don't even care about it. It's like these people don't exist. It's incredible, like this is the 21st century. And they act like these people don't exist, and they are the original people of the States, you know. So the record has a little bit of a Navajo vibe. I went and recorded. This first song, Ritual, has a Navajo chant on it. Blood on the Street has a Navajo drummings and chants in the end. And then we have other crazy songs like the one with Randy from Lamb of God. It's called Dead Behind the Eyes, and it's about Hellraiser and Cenobites and all that, you know, pleasure for pain, you know, chains and all that shit, you know, walking on fire and all that. So, and Randy's vocals are great on it. And then we have one called Under Rapture. It's with Ross from Immolation, and it's, oh god, it's the best death metal with the blast beat. It's the best, like, vocals, like, it's so death metal, so heavy, so intense. So it's a cool record. I'm really excited for Ritual.
Nice, I'm looking forward to it myself. How would you say it compares to Archangel in terms
Very different. The Archangel was really biblical, and it was kind of one of a kind, and that's kind of what I like about Archangel, and I wanted to do one of a kind of record, and then don't do some other stuff, and I'm glad Archangel came all the way it is. I think Ritual is more like towards albums like Prophecy and Dark Ages. It's more that kind of record. You know? It's like full on. There's a lot of tribal stuff, but there's a lot of super heavy stuff. Even Powered with the double bass. It's got kind of like that propaganda kind of vibe, you know. You know, it's like, it's cool. I love stuff like that, and kind of compares to some of the stuff I listen to these days, because I listen to a lot of, you know, Nails and Genocide Pact, Power Trip, you know, and stuff like that, you know, so Bozer, you know, so you know, you play what you love, and I mean, my music influences come strong in what I do all the time. Everything I play is always similar to what I listen to.
Absolutely. Well, Soulfly has always used special guests, and like you say, you've got Randy from Lamb of God and your man from Immolation as well. Do you feel the Soulfly album would be incomplete without a special guest, or would it just, is it a necessity to have a special guest?
It's not a necessity, it's more like a fun thing to have. It's just like it gives the album a little bit more flavor, more excitement, and you know, we've been doing it forever like that, and you know, I could have done without it. It would still be a good record, you know, but I feel that it's something, it's kind of like a tradition, you know, it's almost like, it's like the Soulfly song, the instrumental songs.
Yeah.
That's why they're there. They're not for everybody. Some people don't like them.
They're my favorite.
You know, like a lot of people, and a lot of people really like them a lot, you know. The new one is really cool. We had, it's kind of, we didn't use any drums, so it's all electronic, the drumming, so it's a little bit like, I was telling Josh, the producer, it's similar to be like Massive Attack, Dead Can Dance with electronic drums, and then we found a guy to play saxophone, so it's like really kind of crazy and jazzy, but really cool, you know. It's like another really trippy Soulfly, you know, instrumental song.
Nice one. Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's got a good vibe to it, and came out really good. I'm excited for it, especially the sax. They found a guy from Pretty Reckless. I don't know if you know this band. So the guy plays saxophone. He was friends with Josh, and so he played it, and it just sounds really, really good. Like really, just fits, man. You know, it's like a good. Like when you listen to a saxophone that's well played in the right time, and you don't have that much in metal. You know, there's not much in metal. So when you hear that on that track, it really comes at you. You know, it's really cool and it's really chill. Like, so I'm glad that we did that. So yeah, I mean all the parts are there, you know. So I'm glad that we did the song with Randy, because I think that's one of my favorite songs ever. It's a full-on trash. It's like full-on schizophrenia era, you know, trash. It's just ballistic.
I think you were saying recently that part of the schizophrenia influence came about when you were talking with Zion about he wanted to do.
Yeah, he was jamming with me, and he was playing the songs and asking me what I was thinking when I was writing those songs, you know. And I was like, I wasn't thinking much. Just, this is cool, like, to have all these parts, you know. So I told you some of those songs took a long time to be put together because there's so many parts on it. So we really practice a lot. So he's like, let's do one right now. Let's do one of those kind of songs. So that Behind the Eyes is kind of like that. Has a lot of parts, has a lot of intricate stuff. It's super fast. It's got the same structure as some from Schizophrenia or Beneath the Remains, but with the sound of right now, which is great. So it's super heavy and crunchy and stuff. So and it's with Randy's voice and my voice together, it's really awesome. It really turned out good.
Either this is going to be one of the best albums of the year, or you're the best salesman.
Yeah, right.
I want it now.
Yeah.
But how is it being in a band with your son? Are there times when you have to be a parent, or do you find it's different between being a parent and being a bandmate at times? You still want him to have that experience you had?
I think it's easy and hard at the same time. I mean, easier to kind of like tell him like what I want. Hard is sometimes, like for instance, he doesn't like Savages and he doesn't really like Archangel, you know, and I try to understand why he doesn't like those records, you know, especially Archangel, because I think Archangel is a pretty kick-ass album, you know. I love Bethlehem's Blood, Ishtar Rising, Sodomites. Those are heavy songs, you know, and he doesn't want to play any of that. That's why it's not on the set list. It sucks, man, you know. But the good part of it is that he's really energetic, really young, plays with a lot of fire, and he's very committed, you know. He's very committed to do the best he can every night. So I think, you know, on that area, we have a great band together that just goes out there and, you know, delivers, you know, every night. It's like 110%, you know. I couldn't ask more from Mark Rizzo. Great guitar player, jumps on stage, kicks it, you know, every night. No matter if there's 10 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people, he's the same energy on the stage. Zion, he's pretty crazy drummers because he never does the same drum fill again. So he does one on night, the next night's different, and the next night's different. It's really weird to play with him. I never played with a drummer like that. Not even my brother was like that. He was pretty similar. Everything was kind of like whatever he did on the record, he did it live. Zion is not like that. He creates stuff every night, which is cool. It keeps it fresh.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, it's like, for me, it's like, wow, what's gonna be tonight? You know, so it's always surprising.
Cool. Well, one of the things Soulfly have been doing a little while ago now was the nail bomb record.
Yeah.
Start to finish, and which was really cool. Unfortunately, obviously, Alex couldn't be part of it this time. Are there any plans to do it again with Alex, or to get together with Alex at some point?
I hope we could do it. I mean, with that. I mean, Igor did a great job. My son, you know, he did Alex's part and played the keyboards, and we wanted to bring that to Europe. I was hoping next year we can bring it for some festivals and stuff. I think it would be great, even like Woodstock or something like that would have been amazing, because it's a great show. The Point Blank record is fantastic to play live. It's a great record. It has not lost its power through the years. Actually, it's more powerful now than it was. It makes more sense now, the lyrics of the world we are right now. Point Blank is more for this world than it was for when we wrote it, which is crazy, you know, if you think about it. So we hope that next year we're gonna do, but I don't think it would definitely not be another Nail Bomb record. We're done. You know, me and Alex, he's in a different world doing production and stuff. I got my stuff. I will have another Killer BQ album next year, which is great. We already demo for it. We got 10 songs out of it. Sweet. Fantastic. The choice more involved, which is what I wanted from the beginning. Yeah. So that's going to be great.
And he's got a little bit more time on his hands now, I guess.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, hopefully Troy too, because Mastodon's starting to maybe slow down touring a little bit too. You know? They tour a lot like us. Kind of like me, always on the road, you know. But next year we're gonna find some time to do that, together with the Ritual World Tour, which is gonna be a huge world tour for Ritual. You know, we're trying to get some really cool stuff for the stage, some props. Not like high tech props, but like down to earth, like wood statues and stuff. You know,
just things that complement the.
Yeah, because I remember I saw Janis Addiction one time at Lollapalooza, and they had all this shit on the stage. It was fantastic, but it was all shit like plants and statues, like African statues, and I always thought, this is so cool. Nobody really does that in metal, you know. Like a lot of people are more with the digital lights and pyros, and I was thinking like the album is called Ritual. We can put a bunch of crazy like African-looking statues, and even we have camouflage. That's tonight. You see it. There's a lot of camouflage on the stage, so we're gonna try to update the stage for next year. So it should be really cool.
We just have to make sure Mark doesn't kick it over when he's getting into it.
We'll give him instructions.
Cool. Well, this year is also the 20th anniversary of the first album. Was it important to you to have an album out for this year to mark that 20 years, or was it just another number to you, basically?
It was kind of a coincidence that happened. I mean, but it was cool that happened. And one of the cool things we did for Ritual was when we entered the studio, I actually told the guys, let's forget about all the other Soulfly records. Let's imagine that we are making the first Soulfly album right now, you know. So that was kind of cool. That was like the vibe, you know. So, and I heard that's kind of like what Rick Rubin did to Black Sabbath when they did 13. Like, imagine you are recording your first album right now, you know. Of course, that's only like for mine, you know. It's kind of like a mental thing, but it still helped the record, I think, you know, because you make it like has kind of a feeling. But yeah, it's crazy. 20 years. A lot of people really like that first record. I think there's a magic involved in that album that's really was well captured, you know. But I'm really happy with a lot of the Soulfly stuff through the years. You know, I like all the records. I think I love Prophecy, Dark Ages, you know, Archangel, Enslaved was a little bit more death metal, you know. And,
I mean, Wellscum, that's one of the heaviest Soulfly songs ever.
I love it.
But it's still so Soulfly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can hear that, and you can hear that it's still the same band that did Prophecy or Seek and Strike. It's great.
So yeah, I mean, I'm glad with all of that, but it's good to mark the anniversary. We thought about maybe playing the first album beginning to the end, you know, but I don't think we're gonna be able to. Maybe we can do it maybe when it's 30 years of the album or 25 years of the album. We might do something like that, you know, but because we have a new album, we end up just making this tour right now is kind of cool. It is kind of like the best of Soulfly in one show. The show you see tonight, it's got all the main, except for we're not playing anything out of Archangel, unfortunately, but everything else is the best of Soulfly. Like all the best, a lot of old songs and a lot of fast stuff. Bloodfire, War Hate, you know, Bohada.
I saw like Bloodfire, War Hate shirts so many times at Bloodstock. Everywhere I turned, someone had that on the back of their shirt.
Really? That's cool. It's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, man. So it's a good show, you know. So we're excited. I can't wait for the record to come out so we can eventually really tour for that, you know.
I'm really looking
officially, you know.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. I really do appreciate it.
All the best, brother. All right. Stay metal.
I probably fucked that.